Trailer Magazine. Join the big wheel truckers team. Trailer Magazine. Whoa, check out the greatest rigs you ever seen.
Trailer Magazine is the biggest big wheel truckers periodical in Europe, and it comes out 10 times a year, especially for all you gear jammers on the road.
Trailer Magazine.
So check out this heavy load of articles, features, and great pictures, all available in
Trailer Magazine.
Trailer Magazine.
Australia. In 1770, the English sea captain and explorer James Cook discovered a new continent. He called this country Terra Australis, the southern country, and hoisted the flag in the name of his king. The rest is history. Today, Australia has more than 14 million inhabitants who have mostly settled along the coast where the climate is fantastic. % of Australia is composed of great deserts and vast wastelands, but there are enormous natural resources in the country. Large areas are covered in forests, and consequently there is a considerable timber industry. Large areas of cultivated land produce enormous quantities of grain. The great distances and sparseness of the population have led to a unique development in transportation, the so-called road trains. Road trains made their appearance in the middle of the 30s when the Australian government, in cooperation with British truck manufacturers, began to develop truck combinations for extremely heavy transports in outback Australia. Today's road trains are made up of a tractor and 2 or 3 trailers. Road trains transport all sorts of things: timber, ore, grain, oil and oil products, cattle, sheep, and general cargo. Let us introduce two veterans with more than 10 years' experience of road train operations. Ross Vaughan, owner and operator, and his co-driver, Jimmy Murphy. The road train is a Volvo F12 intercooler 6x4. It's on long-term lease for TNT Darwin Express, one of Australia's larger transport companies. The load is most often composed of general cargo, which can include just about anything. Ross drives the stretch from Perth to Darwin, which is 4,200 kilometers long. This equals Gibraltar to Stockholm, or Los Angeles to Washington. Road trains are not allowed to drive through densely populated areas. For this reason, there exist so-called hookup areas where road train combinations are joined together. The individual trailers are driven out there and put together to make up the road trains. Ross's road train is a so-called triple. It carries 3,000 litres of fuel, 2,000 litres on the tractor and 1,000 litres on the first trailer. There are 58 wheels spread over 15 axles. They carry 10 spare tyres. They'll have 9 flats, and a stone will penetrate one of the fuel tanks. The vehicle's total length is 50 metres, and its train weight is 110,000 kilograms. It is the beginning of December and summer in Australia. The temperature is about plus 45 degrees centigrade, and the wet season is about to begin.
No copy. Yeah, roger. No, you can call. I couldn't pick him up either.
Ross expects he can make 1, at the most 2 more trips before the great floods begin.
Yeah, must be pretty hot.
Rain clouds are already building up, and every night thunderstorms break out.
If you're sitting on about that when I was on the wheel.
With the CB radio, Ross keeps in touch with other road trains, or big wheels as they're called on CB language.
That big rig, mate. Yeah, you see that fire on the side of it? It looks like a good storm coming up in the distance there. Right. I reckon. It's on the side there, Ross. Yeah, you have to get too far away, you'll lift your foot off. I'll just go for the
Did you know that the Australian kangaroo is a night animal? Most Australian animals are, as the heat of the day forces them to hide or take cover. But at night, the Australian fauna comes to life, which turns night driving into a real adventure. A welcome break, a roadhouse. A chance to refuel, have a wash and a hot meal. And company, too. It's a long haul between gas stations, and even if Ross carries enough fuel, he refuels when he can. And this time he's in luck, because on the way here, a stone penetrated the fuel tank on the trailer, and before the damage was discovered and repaired, a lot of fuel was lost.
What are you taking on so far? Just the hair goes out of the hair.
Ross and Jim have now covered half the distance. They arrive in Halls Creek, which with its nearly 3,000 inhabitants is quite a central spot in these parts. Ross and Jim have now covered 4,200 kilometers. They've been driving for 4 days and 4 nights. All that's got to be done is the unloading and loading. And in 2 days' time, they will return to Perth, where the whole story starts all over again.